Go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Can't believe Monday's already here. Mia was just on my lap for about half an hour while I was getting ready. I was hoping she would be here and say hello to you, but she just decided to leave. I guess she's got a little stage fright. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Um, Brian says, so where will the market head today? I'm going to tell you in a few minutes, Brian. If you just give me a few minutes, I'll gladly tell you where the markets are going to go today. I'll be very happy to, but you got to give me a few minutes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's say good morning to everybody, and then we will start. First of all, a few housekeeping items. A few housekeeping items. Uh, please feel free to ask questions that are relevant. Number two, switch your gearbox, the little gearbox right here that you have at the bottom right. It says HD right here. I'm pointing to it on the screen right now. Switch it to 1080p so you'll be able to watch me in full digital quality. The charts will be much clearer to read. I want to make sure you guys can read the charts, okay? And lastly, if you don't mind, how about a thumbs up? Right here, I'll give myself a thumbs up and let's get started. Very few rules we need to abide by. Let me just say hello to everybody and we will begin. We got Stefan, we got the sassy trainer, we got Brian. Good morning. Good morning. We got JB, we got Steven, we got Vernon, we got James, we got Robert, we got Richard, we got Jody, we got Rakesh. Peter, good morning, Peter. I hope this is one of your lighter weeks. Dave, Carey, Omar Sharp, Art Sharp, sorry. Pat, Robert, Penny's in the house. CJ's in the house. Yay. Javad is in the house. That's right. Anik Kumar, Wade, Harold, Mike, Dave. We got Ray here. We got Ed. We got Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. We got Mark. We got Steven. We got Jesse, John, Eduardo, Karen, Brian, Rodolfo. We got a lot of people here today. Ooh, just skipped on me quite a bit. We got David, Tom, Steve, Jill. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Richard. Cam. Good morning, Tim, Doris, Rick, Delbert, Kevin, Sherman, Rakesh, Rebecca, Charlie, Clyde, Eduardo. Yeah, very sad to hear about the Pope. How old was the Pope? Was he 88, 90? I don't know the exact number, but it is very sad. Murray, good morning, Murray. Jean, thank you for those that last one you sent me last night was priceless. My wife loved it. Harry, Samson, Sylvain, Edgar, Bob. Good morning, Bob. Ben, good morning, Ben. Haven't seen you in a while. Moondog, at rehab. Oy vey, that's not good, Moondog. Rosalind, Genevieve, Frank, Rochelle. Hey, Rochelle, bought a new car. Congratulations. Congratulations. What kind of car did you get? Dave, Rick, Ralph. Um, we got Flying Ronin. Carlos, good morning, Carlos. I was thinking about you this weekend. I was looking at your Facebook channel this weekend, actually. I was on Facebook. I saw you on Facebook. I gave one of your articles a thumbs up. Naples fan, Henry, Eagle Beagle. Mark, good morning, Eagle Beagle. Marlon, Kevin, Timothy, Jeff. We got, 88. Yeah, 88. That's what I figured. Oh, Subaru. That's a very reliable car. A lot of folks in this area are getting that car. That's a very reliable car. Jill, Rochelle, Susan, Murray, Vertuvian, David, John. Good morning, everybody. Dan, good morning. Good morning. So let's start off with a few links. Um, yeah. Yeah, Cam, I agree with you. Never takes responsibility for anything. Yep, it's a great car if you're going to go off-roading. All right. There's a link for Customer Service Live. Here's a link for a world premiere class that Kane and I are going to be having today. It'll be a lot of fun. It's happening at 1 p.m. I hope you guys can come. Here's a link for that. We'll be starting in just 1 second. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. Today at 1 o'clock. And I'll be doing a very, very special hour in the VIP room where I'll be talking about compression, breakouts from compressions. and other sector related stuff. Good morning, Martin. Good morning, Bob. Over the weekend, I read it on Yahoo this morning. I turned on to hear the news, and I saw it this morning. All right, let's begin. So first things first, what are the big things we're going to be looking at this week? Folks, we're starting at the 10,000 view, 10,000 feet view right now, okay? So first of all, we're going to have to brace ourselves because this week we got a very tech heavy week. We got Google, Intel, Tesla. We have a lot of AI, if you want to call it AI. I still call it chip stocks, but we have a lot of tech stocks reporting this week, which means we're going to have an added factor added to our volatility. Good morning, Jan. We're going to be looking at a lot of industrial stocks, including Triple M, Boeing, FCX, SLB. They're all reporting. So you have technology and you have industrial stocks. Industrial stocks are very, very important, especially in light of the Boeing failing to produce things the right way. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Dr. Serena. Good morning to you, my actuary. I hope you're well. So technology is going to be the big volatility, big question mark on industrial stocks. I hope you guys are writing this down. Please do. There's going to be a battle between service and manufacturing dynamics to see which wins, if manufacturing or service is winning. This is really important right now because we want to see if there's more money flowing into manufacturing or there's more money flowing into services. When the markets are at a potential recession where we are at right now, about 40-50%, we need to know if manufacturing or services is holding us up and which one is stronger. That's very, very important for obvious reasons, for forward-looking business conditions. We're going to see whether the housing market is resilient. We have a Thursday existing report. And on top of all of that, we're going to sprinkle in tariffs. So we've got big, heavy tech week for tech stocks. We have whether industrial stocks are doing good. We're going to have earnings on industrial. We're going to see whether service or manufacturing is leading right now. We want to see if service or good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Scampy. We want to see if services or manufacturing. Good morning, Helen. Is leading right now. Services or manufacturing? Is services or manufacturing? Just to give you an idea, usually when we're threatening with a recession or a depression, the services index dries out faster than a plum outside of my house in Florida. Okay, it's gonna dry out really fast. My wife goes to a lady who does her toes, pedicurist. And the lady told her, this is the deadest period I've had in 7 years. Okay. Now, the last time we had a recession, the people on the streets, the people who are providing services for everyday people, the blue collar service workers, they have a much better idea of what's really happening in the economy because it all trickles up, right? It goes from the poorest to the richest. When your pedicure lady is telling you that this is that she has to borrow money from her husband to make her nut this month, this is a woman who couldn't get an appointment for 6 weeks. This is a woman who couldn't get an appointment for 6 weeks. If a woman is in Jacksonville, okay, if this woman is telling my wife that things are really slowing down, I could assure you things are slowing down quite a bit. They are really, really slowing down. Click here. Thank you, Rebecca. Good morning, Deb and Geothi. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. As often, no one is paying their bills if they can help it. Exactly. So I'm looking for a major slowdown in services. I hope I'm wrong. I hope everything I'm saying, I'm just making all this up and this is a mirage. But folks, I've been doing this for 31 years and it's not. And when you have people doing pedicures saying this is the worst period in 7 years, I have nothing to do and I'm usually booked, double booked, that's a problem. My hair lady, the lady who does my hair, I have to book my appointment usually 3 weeks in advance. I'm not kidding. She's from Los Angeles. She's like the only woman I could find who could do my hair normally. And she's like, yeah, nobody's coming in. I have like 5 people a day instead of 12. Folks, this is very high chance of a recession. Very, very high chance of a recession. About 50 to 60% chance of a recession. Because we have global destabilization. Thank you, President Trump. So again, just wanted to kind of give you heads up what's happening this week. Starting off tech heavy, moving on to industrial stocks, moving on to service versus manufacturing. That's going to be really important. I'll keep you updated on that. And whether house market resilience and sprinkling tariffs on top of all of that. Uh, and by the way, folks, I've been talking about the market going down since November. Nobody else was. I've been telling you not to put trades on now for over a month. While most gurus are, yeah, we're going to go back up. Yes, buy long. No, 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 none of that crap. Don't play that game. Don't play that game. I am in a position in my life where I could tell you the truth and it won't impact my pocketbook, folks. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I don't have to sell you anything. I can actually tell you what I really think. And I don't have to worry about making money. It doesn't affect me. Therefore, you should listen to me because I have absolutely no agenda. I'm not trying to get you into any stock right now. I'm doing the opposite. I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you the opposite of what you want to hear. Maybe you should listen to what I'm saying to you right now. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Yes, yes, very high chance of a recession. Do you know why? Let me show you why. Because you have 75% of stocks trading below the 200-day moving average. That if that's not recessionary, I don't know what is. Okay? 75% of stocks are trading below the 200-day moving average. 50% of stocks trading below the 200-day moving average means we're in a downturn. This is 75% of all US stocks are trading below the 200-day moving average. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, wonderful people. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Again, I'm only telling you how it is. If you want to hear some fantasy, turn on the news. If you want to hear reality, tell me, have I been wrong since November? Well, I haven't been wrong before. Have I been wrong? No, I haven't been wrong. Look at the US dollar. Look at the US dollar, folks. Look at our economy. Do you think this is not what happens when you have a recession and depression? That's the US dollar, folks. That's not the Japanese yen. That's not China. That's US. That's US of A right there. We just broke down. But Roger, why are you saying these things about the country? It can't be true. It is. Accept it and move on. Uh, Petty says my all-time favorite restaurant, the heck in Boston, closing. Costco's been trying to buy them for 7 years. Yep. All right, let's continue. Hey, Kirk, how are you? So, how's the market doing this morning? Ooh, we're down almost 300 points on the Nasdaq, and we're down 428 on the Dow, and everything else is down. Look at everything is congruent. There's no divergence here. Does he really know what he wants, Jeff? Does he really know what he wants? Self-inflicted last year, we were talking about how many rate cuts before election. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Remember that? Good morning, Yukonis. Good morning. All right, let's continue. What data we have to look at this week? Well, we have a lot of Fed speakers this week. We have the manufacturing index tomorrow. We have Fed speakers today. We have a bond auction today, which I want to see how well that's going to be received. We have Fed speakers tomorrow. We have new home sales on Wednesday. We have petroleum status report. Most importantly, folks, this little report right here. You see the Beige book? You see the Beige book? I'll talk about all of this, guys. If you just give me a few minutes, I'll talk about the spot. I'll get into all of this. Beige book, beige book, beige book, beige book. Durable goods, jobless claims is going to be a nothing burger, and consumer sentiment. So, beige book, Fed speakers, manufacturing, durable goods, not jobless claims, existing home sale, and consumer sentiment. I don't know why they can't put this damn report right here. It would be so much better for everybody, but The Fed doesn't want to listen to me. I've been telling them to do this now for the last 10 years. They don't want to listen to anything I have to say. We had 8 Fed speakers over 5 days last week. Surprised they are even more this week. Action now changing dominance going forward. Eagle. All right, let's continue. So U.S. dollar is definitely not doing well. Definitely not doing well. And I don't know who would want the U.S. dollar to be weak, but remember something, folks. If the U.S. dollar gets weaker, less folks want to put their money into U.S. economy. So why would our president want a weaker U.S. dollar? It makes absolutely no sense. It takes away our bargaining power. It takes away global bargaining power. We don't want a weak U.S. dollar. We want a firm U.S. dollar. Let's look at the bond market. That'll give us a clues to everything we need to know today. Oh, I hate to say I told you so, but do you remember last week? A line to the downside. I showed you on Thursday about 50 stocks that were breaking down. I explained that the bond market was doing an A line to the downside, and now we're down over a full basis point, and the market's not even open on a Monday. Sure, yeah, yeah. President Trump wants this too, right? He wants yield to go up, right? No, he doesn't. Nobody wants the US dollar to do what it's doing right now. Nobody wants the US dollar below 100. He may want the US dollar to go lower, but he does not want it below 100. Nobody wants the US dollar below 100, below par. Unless he's a foreign spy working for a foreign government, he wants the foreign government's currency to be stronger. I don't think our president wants that. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Penny says, have you spoken with your friend Kevin to see when he has been advising Trump? Penny, I'm not going to talk. I can't really talk about that. But I've been talking to a lot of people in the White House. Let's just say that. I've been talking to a lot of people in the White House. Not in the White House. I've been talking to a lot of people that advise the White House. Nobody in the White House. I've been talking to people that advise the White House. And I'm going to leave it at that. Um, this is very bad. This is very, very bad. But I will tell you, Penny, that Trump tends to not to listen to anybody except himself. Do foreign global markets mostly control the Monday morning? Yes, they do. They do, Vertuvian. Listen to what Vertuvian just said. It's a very good point. Also, let me give you guys links. Links. Remember, I'm going live with Trader Kane, brand new engine called the Maverick. Don't want to miss out on that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be in my VIP room at noon today. That's going to be a lot of fun. And don't forget, customer service live. And Matt's going to redo the indicator into an oscillator for the Pro Trader dashboard. It'll be just easier for you guys to read it. He's going to work on that today. There you go. Folks, the economy has become a global economy about 30 years ago. So remember, the stock market's highly correlated to the bond market. Do you remember how many A lines to the downside I showed you on Thursday? Like I gave you like 20 of them, remember? And remember what I said. And the bond market's highly correlated to the stock market. So, and we're down over a full basis point on bonds right now. And US dollar's breaking lows. And US dollar hasn't been here since 924. Look at this. We don't want to break 100. You see how it holds on to 100, guys? So somebody said this. Jeff, remember when you said that President Trump wants the US dollar weaker? Yes, but he never wants it below 1. You never want it below parity. You never want it below parity because once you're below parity, investors start shifting money into other assets. Let me ask you a question, folks. Do you want people putting their money into the US dollar or do you want them to putting their money into the euro? Which one do you think will be better for you? So we never want the US dollar below these levels right here. We never want it below 100. We never want it below par. Okay? Cool. Very cool, Cam. Very, very cool. Excellent. All right, let's continue. Crude oil. What's crude oil doing? Crude oil is down 2.3, and look how it's between this VWAP and the A line. It's kind of pinched right now, and I'm expecting downside in the energy market. Okay. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see, Jeff. We'll see. We'll see. Gold. What is gold doing? Gold, folks, is going higher. Now, I don't want you to buy gold here. I'm going to repeat what I said a week ago. If you currently have gold, stay with gold. Lower your exposure here, maybe take profits. We're way overextended. We need gold to come back to minimum of 20 of 200 on our volatility exposure. We have way too much volatility going up right now. We need to buy gold when it's around the 8-day EMA, around here. So what we're going to do is, if you currently have gold, stay with it or start taking profits. We're getting a little too deviated from the 8-day EMA. This is just a little bit too much. You could see how much volatility has gone up. Look at volatility. This is the highest volatility in gold we've seen probably in history. You want to wait till volatility comes down over here. I will be watching it every single day. By the way, notice where I put my finger here. Look at on top where it moves, right here. Here, let me show you on a look at where look on when I'm doing here at the bottom. Look where it goes on top. See that right at the 8-day EMA. See that? It's literally following the 8-day EMA. This would be the right place to get in right here, around 200, not 574. This is the volatility, the spread in volatility. So you want to wait for gold to come back to this area right here. This is a little too far gone. I would be taking profits. I would be lowering my exposure right now with the intent of getting back in around this area, around 3140, 3130. Okay. Bollinger Bandwidth has made such a difference in my trading. Thank you for. Oh, you're welcome, Jeff. That makes me so happy. Good, 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 good. Jeff, if you like this very much, so let me give you guys a little background, okay? Kane, do you guys remember my live class the live class that we had about 2 months ago, where I introduced the Bollinger Bandwidth to you guys? That's where Kane got the idea for the Maverick. And it's the same principle as this Bollinger Bandwidth, except it uses options. So it's actually more accurate than this, and it's also more sensitive than this. So if you guys like the way I look the way we use Bollinger Bandwidth, you guys got to check out Maverick, because that's actually what caused them. He didn't want to say it during the webinar, but that's actually what caused them that gave him the idea to make the Maverick, the Bollinger Bandwidth discussion that we had in the class. So if you guys want to learn more about how not to get above the volatility levels on a stock, trust me, you want to check out Maverick, because he doesn't say what I just did, but he kind of explains it. So definitely check it out. Definitely check it out, Jeff. It's based on exactly this principle that we're teaching right here. Okay. They'll be gone this year in the tourism, yeah. And thought he figured it out watching Top Gun. No, he said it. He said he got the idea at my class, but he didn't expand on it. But it was actually when I was showing people the Bollinger Bandwidth, except his method uses a more advanced methodology. All right, so what about crypto? Well, believe it or not, folks, I'm actually going to say something positive. For the first time this year, I'm seeing a divergence between crypto and tech stocks. Okay. Yeah, it's at 1 p.m. today. It's at 1 p.m. today. And here's the link for that. Here, let me give you that. But what Kane did was he took my Bollinger Bandwidth and he turned it into a very, very sensitive option analysis tool, which is really cool. So yeah, it'll happen at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So we're having a divergence. We're seeing money going into Bitcoin, and we're seeing money coming into well, actually, we're seeing money coming into Bitcoin. Money is coming into Bitcoin. Um, why is money going into Bitcoin and gold right now and not anything else? Because those assets are not controlled by the US dollar. You guys understand? You don't want the US dollar to go below one because then it becomes a weaker global asset. Okay. So while the US dollar was above one, folks were still taking their money out of gold. But when the US dollar goes below one, gold becomes a much stronger asset because folks who had their money in the US dollar are now taking it out and putting it into gold, and they're putting it into cryptos. This is the first time we've seen divergence between crypto and mega caps in a very long time. Mega caps are at a new low right here. Look, clean A line right here. It was on a Thursday. It still is right now. Clean A line right here to the downside. But look at mega caps. Mega caps are still, excuse me, but Bitcoin is still going higher. So we may see a little bump or a little strength on Bitcoin and gold for the foreseeable future. As I said previously, if you're in these assets, you don't have to liquidate them. But my suggestion would be not to go initiating them right now. Let me see how this looks. This one, Bollinger, this one is still good on the Bollinger Bitcoin, but gold is just way overdone. See, this is over here. It's still at a fair value, but gold is like, look at this. Look at where fair volatility value for gold is and look at where it is right now. So definitely not. Is this being helpful to you guys? Is this being helpful to you guys? Thank you, Anurag. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. Good, 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 good. That's right, Helen. That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And everything I'm saying about gold applies to silver. Okay. Everything I'm would Mag's earnings have to be grand slam to reverse the trend? It's a good question. They would be mad, but they're not going to be. Even if they were, they wouldn't reverse the trend. It's not enough for them to. This is much bigger than mega caps. This is global economy. This is way, way bigger than mega caps. Mega caps have about 5% influence in what's happening right now, Matt. 5%. 5%. Mega caps is not nearly as much as you think. Maybe 7%. Mega caps have an influence in what we're discussing right now. The bond market is 1,000 times the size of the stock market. You guys understand? No forward-looking statements. Remember what I told you. If we have no forward-looking statements, it's not going to be very good. That's right. Exactly. And if any company that can't give you a guidance right now, and I honestly, I don't know how a company can give you a guidance right now in light of all the shenanigans we're seeing, but companies that cannot give you a guidance right now, basically they're saying we have absolutely no freaking idea what's going to happen. All right. All right, let's review everything and then we'll jump into the stock market, okay? Let me see how the stock market's doing right now. It's down about 400. I don't have this in real time. This is delayed about 15 minutes, but you could see we're not improving all that much better, and we have consistent almost 70 points down on the almost, two, 60% of a handle down in the morning is not a good sign. All right, let's talk about the bigger picture, okay? So we started off with the big view. What's in focus this week, and then then we focus on the medium picture. Now we're getting more into the day-to-day things. Okay. On Friday, my ex-partner Kevin Hassett stated that President Trump is examining whether he's able to fire Powell. Now, Kevin Hassett knows just as well as I do that Trump cannot fire Powell. But what does Kevin Hassett do? Does he say that? No, he doesn't say that. You know why? Because he's a yes man and he'll always be a yes man. He was always a yes man and he will always be a yes man, which is why he has the job. A day earlier, Trump posted on social media that Powell's removal cannot come fast enough. Now, this, my friends, is a very, very nasty thing that Trump is doing right now because what Trump is doing is trying to point fingers at Powell. Powell is sitting there going, I'm not doing these tariffs, man. I have no idea why you're pointing the fingers at me. But there are people who listen who don't come to this show every day and they don't understand how the economy works. And they have a lot of trust in President Trump and they believe that it's Powell doing this. But meanwhile, Powell is sitting there going, What did I do? What did I do? We were moving in the right direction. We were moving in the right direction. You didn't have to do these tariffs. You didn't have to do these tariffs. Okay, I made a mistake. I lowered interest rates one time after you became president. I did what you wanted me to do. Why are you pointing fingers at me? What did I do? What did I do in this? CPI is down, PPI is down. Why are you blaming me? So what is happening right now? Exactly what I told you was going to happen. President Trump is pointing fingers at somebody else and trying to blame him for something that he has absolutely no control over. Tariffs. What is causing the market to go down? Tariffs. Who's playing this tariff game? Why does Trump want to fire somebody who has absolutely nothing to do with the shenanigans that he's pulling? That, my friends, is a sociopathic move right there. All right, let's continue. Um, and I hope somebody says it. I hope somebody says, look, man, before you fire somebody who has absolutely nothing to do with what you're causing, think twice. How about saying it's my fault the tariffs are happening? No, we're never going to hear that from him, are we? Put his thumbs on the election scale. Yep, that's right. That's right. He can't fire Powell, and this is just plain wrong. And we know that Powell has nothing to do with these tariffs. Not one thing, not 1%. But he wants to fire a guy because the guy doesn't want to lower rates because we shouldn't be lowering rates right now. So Trump is being Trump right now. It's very, very bad. Somebody needs to put the orange baboon back in his place and have a little talk with him. This week, investors are looking ahead to U.S. key economic data, remarks from Federal Reserve, Magnificent Seven, including Tesla and Alphabet, which I'm not anticipating will be good. I don't need to read his book, but look at this. Look at this. Can't come soon enough. You want to fire a guy who had nothing to do with why the market's falling down. Why do you want to fire him? What did he do to you? Mr. Trump, you hired him. You hired this man. You hired him, not Powell. Not Biden. You hired him in 2018. Why do you want to fire him? Right, Jeff. But what does Powell have to do with that? He doesn't, Cam. He doesn't. That'll get changed too. He doesn't have any authority. He's taking an emergency order for that. That's going to be California's already suing him for that. So let's continue. But that's very bad. This is very bad. This is like what? This is like the kid that beats up the neighbor and then blames his brother on it. It's not cool. It's not cool. Smoke screen. It's not a smoke screen for anything. It's just the guy. It's just what he always does. Blame somebody else for things that are 100% his doing. Let's continue. I know. This is very painful for a lot of you to hear, but it's called the reality of things. United Healthcare plummeted 22%. Chip stocks lost ground. By the way, why did United Healthcare drop 22%? They adjusted their EPS guidance. They downgraded themselves. They downgraded themselves. Not very good. Not very good. Alcoa slumped 7%, reporting weaker than expected earnings, causing the tariff-related costs are expected. Duh, really? You think? Lilly surged. They're doing really good with their trials, so we got a little bit of upside. Economic data on Thursday was mixed. Fed manufacturing index tumbled to a two-year low. March housing fell 11%, which is not really good. But permits are up in hopes of interest rates going lower, and I think interest rates are going to go lower in around July time. I don't think we have all the facts about what the Fed is doing behind the scenes, so I'm always a bit skeptical about. They're not Eagle. They've been pretty transparent. They're not doing anything. They're waiting to see what will happen with tariffs because they don't know how things will be. Even companies don't know how things will be. Said he wants to reset the monetary system. Well, then why does he want to blame everything on Powell if he's the one that wants to reset the monetary system? Why would they downgrade themselves? Because they're being responsible, Bob. That's what they need to do because things are not looking great. But when companies downgrade themselves officially during earnings, that's important. Manufacturing index tumbled to a two-year low. So much for bringing manufacturing back to USA. Weaker than expected. Housing. This is bad. What does the Fed say? They say on Friday that the U.S. economy is in a very good place. In terms of CPI and PPI, they are right. We're moving in the right direction. We're only about a quarter away from them lowering rates if Trump can control himself. And he does not see a need to adjust rates anytime soon. That's called sticking it to the president. We need to make sure that any one-time changes in price don't pass through into more persistent high inflation, which I think they will. Very much so, Michael. Very much so. He just wants Powell to cut the Fed rate to give the market a boost. He isn't blaming him for anything. He's not blaming him for anything. What do you mean he's not blaming him for anything? He's blaming him for the economy. Cannot come fast enough. He's not blaming him. He just wants, okay, folks, he's not blaming him. He just wants to fire him because he's doing a great job. Right, Boyd? That's why we fire people because they're doing a great job. Let's not go there, please. Yes, exactly. Yes, Dan, that's what I've been saying for the last 3 months. Yes. Yes, the bond market. This is how well we're doing right now, folks. This is America right here. The bond market. This is the 200-day moving average. We're below it. Nothing is good right now. All right, let's continue. And I apologize if I have to tell you such awful things first thing in the morning, but my job is to be honest with you, not to sugarcoat some bullshit. We have Beige book coming out. That's this report coming out right here at 2 p.m. We got a lot of Fed speakers going to be talking this week. China ended higher on hopes that Beijing would roll out stimulus measures to mitigate the impact on the trade war. Let's see how China is doing in terms of FXI. Let's look at FXI real quick. Right, Boyd, right. But that's not what we need. CPI and PPI are doing well. We don't want to give the market an artificial boost. Boyd, what would be the point of giving a market artificial boost right now, other than to sucker in investors when the market is below the 200-day moving average and make Trump feel good about himself? You know, you have to agree with me there, right? So even if you're right and I'm wrong, it's still a sociopathic move because it's trying to sucker the market into thinking that we're in a good position where we're clearly not. So what would be the point of that? It's like giving somebody who's dying a little bit of cocaine to stimulate them so they can act like they're doing well before they die. What's the point? What's the point of doing that? It's not permanent. So Trump is basically telling Powell to go against everything he knows and everything against economical to make Trump look better for a few months. Isn't that exactly what he's looking to do? Because what would be the point of cutting rates right now if you have to raise them in 2 months? You see, Boyd, it makes no sense. And if Trump knew anything about the economy, the last thing he would be telling Powell to lower rates, because lowering rates right now will weaken the US dollar and put us deeper into a recession down the road. So what would be the point of doing that? So let's not do that. That's not good advice. That advice would only help us for about a week. All right. The market is fine. It's overreacting to tariffs. So the Fed moved to overreact to the positive side. Exactly. Overreact. We don't want it to overreact. We want it to be stabilized. We want to stabilize the market. We don't want to do a clown trick that'll last 3 weeks. We want something stable. Do you guys, folks, do you want the market stabilized for 3 weeks or do you want the market stabilized for 4 years? Powell is trying to stabilize the market for the next 4 years. Okay. Big difference. Big difference. The problem is that a lot of Americans think the tariffs will bring wealth to America. My friends, I'm afraid to tell you, but tariffs. Yes, that's right, Tiago. You're absolutely right. Yes, absolutely right. It's going to make everything a lot more expensive. I've been saying that didn't you see the article this weekend about the iPhone? The iPhone is going to cost $4,000 if it's made in the USA. 80% of Americans want to bring manufacturing back to America, but only 20% of Americans want to work those jobs. Do you understand what the problem is? What Trump is doing is not going to work in reality, folks. It never would. If it would, we would have done it a long time ago. And by the way, 99.9% of economists do not agree with him. Basically, everybody who doesn't work for him doesn't agree with him. All right, let's continue. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Tiago. See, Tiago, he's right. He's right. Tiago, you are right. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but you are 100% correct. All right, now let's move past all this crap. All right, volatility. What is volatility doing? Well, volatility is well into Hurricane 3 zone. Victor, great question to send me an email. Great question to send me an email. So you see the volatility. We never went. This is category 5. This is category 4. This is category 3. You see how we're above the 8-day EMA? We're now at 3.5. Category 3.5. All right. Okay, Boyd. All right. If you think so, if you think so, uh, yes, exactly. I believe it is Rakesh. Ask Matt. He knows better than I am, but I think so. I think they just needed to publish it. Hey, Brian, you're here. Do you know about how to publish this business with how to publish this thing with how to publish this trading view stuff? Let me know if you know how to do it, because I know both Kane and Matt want to know how to publish the trading view. Hey, Harold, how are you? No, Powell is not astute. He's just not really doing anything crazy right now. He's not doing anything crazy. You guys all know how, look, all of you know how hard I am on Powell, right? I call it how it is. He's not doing anything crazy right now. He's not. I wish he was, but he's not. All right. Volatility is back on warning, and it's Monday, so we may have a day when the market goes down and just consolidates. All right. All right. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Sentiment, a lot of red. The only things that are moving green is consumer staples and utilities. Huge red flag. Huge red flag. Huge red flag right there. Huge red flag. Mega caps. Mega caps are breaking down. We're almost at the lowest level. And most of these stocks are not going to give us forward-looking earnings statement. Oh, you do know. Okay, well, let them know. Brian, let them know. Let them know, please. Thank you. I appreciate it. Or let me know. Let somebody know. So anyway, I think we're going to hit the low. In the next couple of days, I think we're going to hit the low unless something drastically changes fundamentally. The SPY. The SPY is, remember everything I told you on Friday, unfortunately, is coming to fruition. We are now trading below these areas. Remember I told you, big warning sign right here? Big warning sign right here. We are now at this area. This is very bad. We have a clear A line to the downside, and we're not deviated from the 8-day EMA. All right. QQQ. Same thing. We're already at the low right here. Look at this. We're already at the low. More downside. Jeff says, keep blending politics with finance. I know it's nearly impossible to separate too much of your argument. Are the fights between natural and globalists, which is political? Exactly. You and me an email with questions. Huh. Brian, I don't think I saw it. I'll take a look. I'll take a look. I'll take a look. If it was Friday probably or Thursday, I probably just don't remember. I'll take a look. We still haven't finished it, Penny. We still haven't finished it yet. We still want to tweak it for we're still tweaking it for TradingView. We're not there yet. I'll take a look again, Brian, at the email, and I'll take a look. I think I forwarded it to Matt on Thursday. I'll take a look. But we're just need to publish this thing. Usually the hard part is coding something. We just need to publish it. All right, folks. So we're right here. We're not in a great place right now. What I'm hoping is that this will be the low today, and we're going to go higher, although things do not feel this way. China this morning is below the VWAP. Right, or right at the A line, and it looks like we're starting to lose that strength we were getting from China last week, which is going to put pressure on Chinese stocks. The worst thing I could tell you is the U.S. bond market is down over a handle, and the US dollar broke down, which is the worst thing that could possibly happen. What about momentum levels? How are momentum levels looking? Let's see. How are momentum level? For now, Penny, my suggestion is just to download TradingView and just pay the $20 a month. It's just so much more accurate for what we're doing. Um, even I got TradingView. Yeah. So what about stocks moving up and down? Well, you've got 34 stocks breaking higher, and you have 32 stocks breaking down. What does that mean? It means we have a lot of volatility right now, but not a lot of directional bias, which means we may just get volatile and stay here with a lot of volatility. But overall, I don't like the sentiment right now in the market. Yeah, I think you can. Thank you, Victor. I appreciate it. I'll respond to you later today. Right here. This is not good, folks. This is not good. What I'm hoping for is that we'll make a low during the first hour and we'll consolidate. What we've been seeing, folks, and this is a good time to stop arguing about politics and start listening to what I'm saying right now. What we've been seeing the last couple of weeks is a big move in the morning and then very little follow through during the day. So, and today is Monday. So what I'm hoping is that we will make the high and the low during the first hour of the day, and then the remaining of the day we will consolidate and move higher. If you see volatility after the first hour of the day, if you see volatility moving higher, or if you see the mega caps, if you see mega caps breaking down after the first hour of the day, that's not good. That's not good. Look at how they're at right now. They're not picking up at all, picking up base at all. How about chip stocks? Let's look at chip stocks. Not seeing any upside. What we want to see today in SMH and mega caps, we want to see price start moving back up towards the 8-day EMA. We don't want it continuing breaking down. The fact that it's already below these levels is sucks. And I told you last week after we broke this level, but the fact that we're already at the pivot here on a Monday morning is a very, very bad sign, which means the odds are we're going to test the low. My only hope is that we will reprieve and start moving higher after the first hour of the day, but I don't think that's going to happen today. Okay? I don't think that's going to happen today. Folks, if you haven't done it yet, please take a second and give me a thumbs up here. Let's see how many we have so far. We have 600 people watching. And we have 210 people. We should do more. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it. Do you have a level for SPY that you can estimate if mags break down? Sure, of course I do. Yeah, here, look, Boyd. Look, let me show you. So here's mega caps, right? I'll show you. Yes, that I could do for you. Right here. Right here. If this breaks down, look at SPY. They're very correlated. They have a correlation of about 80%. SPY will do exactly and will come right back down here. Look, let me draw you a picture. Let me draw you a picture. If we can't get up to this area, we're going to come right down here and test this area. That's the next level. All the A-line stocks, the next level is the old low. Otherwise, we come back and we start breaking higher. But the fact that we already broke this area here, that we already broke this area right here, this territory right here, is not a good sign. Now, folks, not everything is lost. Not everything is lost. There are several things that can happen. Trump can come back live and he could say, look, I made a big mistake. I miscalculated the economy and I'm not going to do anything with tariffs right now. I made a huge mistake. He could do that. That would cause the market to really, really, really rally. Okay. He can undo the ban on China and Nvidia. And if Trump comes out and says, "Hey, I was totally wrong. I made a huge mistake," that would go a long ways to changing the dynamics right now. Do I see that happening? Uh, I see my cat speaking French faster than I see that happening. He would never do that. I've never heard Trump say I've made a mistake in my life before. Have you? You remember we're going to solve the war with Ukraine in 24 hours? Oh, I'm walking away. That's what I'm expecting with this tariffs. It's just a matter of how long it'll happen and how long will it take to happen. He's not going to admit anything. He's not going to admit anything. It'll never happen. But that would somebody asked me what would change the scenario. Him changing his mind would go a long ways. It's not going to happen, but that would go a long way. That would go a long way. I know. I know. But you asked me what would change things, and I'm telling you, him coming out, making a huge apology, saying I was completely wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. And we're not gonna do any of this stuff. That would change things fast. But if he keeps blaming Powell, it's not, it's not gonna do any good. So I told you on Friday. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, folks, if you on Friday, if you're in the pit and if you took CRM short, and if you stayed in the position, they had a downgrade over the weekend. So, here, let me. Yes, CRM is an A line to the downside with a swing trade target of 241 to the downside if you want to hold it. That was Thursday at 10:21 in the morning. We got into CRM. Let's take a short on CRM or buy a put at 10:16. Here's the fill price. Here's our profit target. Here's the second profit target. And here's my little note. I like the stock for a swing in case you want to hold it. Now at 248.12, moving. CRM is an A line to the downside with a swing trade target of 241 to the downside. This was Thursday, 10:51. And CRM is down already almost $4. It got downgraded. Did anybody make money on CRM? Is anybody still holding it? Going once, going twice. CRM? Does anybody take CRM on Thursday? No, nobody took CRM? What? Huh. Okay. That's kind of weird. Oh, still holding CRM. Okay, there's a delay here. Okay. All right, that's what I thought. I was like, "What?" Okay, good. Hey folks, when was the last loser you took in what was the last loser you took in the pit? Home Depot and D-Dog in January. Good. Let's move on. So, remember what I told you about CRM on Thursday? A-line? It pays to listen to Uncle Roger, doesn't it? Okay. All right. So, I told you on Thursday, I came here on Thursday and I did this. I love having my time machine here. I went here and I showed you how Thursday morning we had A line, 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 A line. I told you how Citibank and Microsoft had an A line, Applied Materials had an A line, MGM had a main line. If you guys don't remember this, just go to your Thursday morning session. I talked about FITB having an A line, GE having an A line. I talked about Blackstone having an A line. I talked about A line on every stock. And now I'm going to show you something, and that's the SPY. And what is the SPY doing right now? It's confirming our A line to the downside. It broke the low. Look. So all those stocks that I gave you an A line to the downside on Thursday, they're all profitable. And the one I actually gave you in the pit got downgraded. No, Victor, you can't. That was for Thursday. All right. So just wanted to kind of let you know how we're doing in our programs. Let me now give you shorts to the downside today, and then I'll give you longs, and then I'll tie everything in together for you. And folks, my political discussions have nothing to do with my financial market discussions. Just FYI, the fundamentals are here, the technicals are here. Unfortunately, they're agreeing with each other right now, which is really bad. I told you about the stock last week when it was over here before it dropped, but it's still good, and it's got weaker relative weakness than the stock market. You want to short stocks that are weaker than the stock market right now, which is hard to do because the stock market is really weak right now. So it's going to be difficult for us to find shorts that are outperforming the market to the downside in the pit today because the market is expected to be weak. I'm going to I'm going to repeat what I just said. I'm going to repeat what I just said. The our relative weakness scan is going to be challenged today because the stock market is going to open very weak. When the stock market is very weak, it's hard to find stocks that are outperforming the market to the downside. So one of the ways we do that is to find stocks that are already past the A line, have already broken down. Now, you're probably not listening to what I'm saying, but I'm going to repeat it again because it's the most important thing I'm going to tell you today for the fourth time. See where the SPY is? SPY is right here, but it's going down. Most stocks look just like the SPY right now to the downside. Our job is to find stocks that are underperforming the SPY to the downside. That way, we need to find stocks that are already here. Not here, but here. Capiche? I've repeated something 3 times straight without anyone asking me to. Do you understand how important this is? And did you digest what I just said? Virtuvian, with all due respect, what I'm saying right now is a lot more important. Yes, you guys understand that. You guys understand what I'm saying right now? Look at GPN. We're getting into the finer details of things, which means you need to pay attention. See how this stock is already not here, but it's already here? That way we can assure that the stock is weaker than the market. So, stock market is in the shitter, which means 80% of stocks that you're going to look at are going to look like this. That's not good enough for you. You want stocks that are here or here. Capiche? The Fed is not going to drop rates, Ed. They are not going to drop rates. The last thing the Fed is going to do is drop rates. They're not going to feed into this thing with Trump. They're not going to do that. They're going to stick it to him where it hurts. Because ultimately it's going to be their fault for lowering rates and he's going to blame them for it. And he's going to pressure them to do it. And then he's going to say, why did you lower rates? Who told you to do that? So you see how you see where SG is right now? Look where the stock market is. I'm giving you guys really important information right now. You don't want to short stocks that are doing this. You want to short stocks that are doing this. You want to trade stocks that are doing this, that are way past the A line. Capiche? Now, I know Richard is listening to what I'm saying right now. See how this is already past the A line? We're past our profit target on the SPY here. Boy, do you see how we're past our profit target? This would be the profit target if this was the SPY right here. We're past. That's the ones you want. You want to short the ones that are telling the market we're way, way weaker than you are. Let's see if BMY fits that category. See, with strong stocks, it's easy because if it's above the 200-day moving average, it's looking great, right? But with shorts, it's difficult because most stocks are looking like the SPY right now. They're still up here. They're not down here. But Bristol Myers is telling us we are weaker than the spider. We are weaker than the spider. You want to short stocks that are weaker than the spider. Thank you, Richard. See, all of these stocks that I'm showing you on my look at the spider. Remember that picture that I drew for you a minute ago. See this is the spider, and I see how I rode the arrow here. I want stocks that are already here or here or here. I don't want stocks that are here because that means they're not underperforming the SPY. What I'm saying right now is something that I really know a lot about, folks. Please listen to me. That's why GPN, SG, look at this stock, tech, look at this stock. See how it's already here? It's not here, it's already here. Mike says, don't they drop rates when we're in a recession? We're in a well, not technically. We're heading there. I know no one wants to think so, but Main Street is in a recession. It has been for a while. Mark, it's got to officially be in a recession. I think we're about 45 to 55% there. We need to officially be in a recession. Officially. And the stock market is because we have only 20% of stocks are trading above the but anyway, let's continue with this. Let's continue. See, all the way down here, I picked stocks that are way weaker than the stock market, specifically for you. ZD. I want stocks that look like A-line profit targets. Capiche? We want stocks that look like the SPY is going to look like. Capiche? I think everybody understands what I'm saying. This is a very good session. People are not arguing with me today. Thank God. Now, you don't want the stock. It's up 4%, probably had earnings. You don't want the stock. You want the stock when it's doing this, not when it's doing this. Well, Roger, but it's pulling back to the 8-day EMA. Yeah, but it's up 4%. Do you want to buy a stock that's up 4% today? No. I mean, do you want to short a stock that's up 4%? Hell no. That's like the last thing you want to do. ALGM, last short stock. Understand? We're not shorting it here or here. We're shorting it here. We do, Tiago, we do. Unfortunately, my longs are not that pretty. They don't look good. They're B to C, not A plus trends. Now I like Kroger. I like Kroger right now. I like Moss. If it continues breaking higher, if it continues breaking higher, not if it's going to go into this thing. I want to see it up here. I like Philip Morris. Notice the type of stocks I'm giving you right now. And again, these are not my favorites. These are the only ones. And FTS. Let me see what this company does. FTS. Oh, utility. So let me put it all together for you. Hey, Joy, how are you? Let me give you the lowdown. What kind of stocks there are? Some stocks are moving higher. What type of stocks are moving higher? Highly defensive stocks, cigarettes, gold, supermarkets. Oh, by the way, I went to BJ's this weekend. I had a blast there. I bought a bunch of stuff so cheap. I bought a couple of polo shirts that are like $19 that are regularly $30. I got my gas filled up. I've already paid the money for my 1 year membership in my my second time there. So, folks, I've been very, very happy with BJ's. My parents joined, my in-laws joined, and I've joined. I've been very happy with them so far. Just giving you feedback, nothing to do with what we're talking about now, except maybe the stock price. Let me look at BJ's. I was very, very surprised, and there was nobody in there. We went there Saturday morning. Yeah, this one still looks good as long as it's above this 8-day EMA. So my point is, the stocks that are going up are highly defensive. We're not seeing any money coming into assets that are related to the US stock market. We are seeing money coming into gold, but look at this volatility. This is crazy. And cryptos, which is also very defensive. And I believe money's coming into cryptos because the US dollar is now below 1. It's below parity, which is not a good sign. Oh, they do. I did not know that, Steve. That's good to know. I'll tell my mother-in-law. So be very, very, very careful right now. We are in uncharted territory. The U.S. stock market is down a full basis point right now. This is not good. Tech is down quite a bit. It is all right. Now, Roger, you're really bearish. Give us some good news. The good news is this. After the market's been opening up, it's been not doing very much after the first hour, especially on Mondays. Look at the high and low today and look if we start making a low during the first hour. My biggest concern today would be mega caps, mags, and SMH. If you see SMH and mega caps underperforming the blue chips after the first hour of the day, after the first hour of the day, the odds are we're not going to get a lot of upside movement. I am favoring the short side. I'm going to give you guys an exit signal on CRM if you were a swing trader today, maybe later today. And I'm going to be looking for more shorts. I am not looking for longs right now. Okay. Oh, Mark, good to know. Good to know. Good to know. I don't know why BJ's has completely been like under my radar, but they just build a new one here, and I love it. I love it. All right. That's all I have for you for today. If you missed this session, here's a link. You can see it right here. I apologize if I offended anybody with my political discussion. That was not the case. My job is to get you guys on the right side of the market. I want you guys to make money in the market. I honestly don't care about this political bullshit. Uh, Here is a link to the 1 o'clock reveal. And here is a link to the VIP room. And before I let you go, real quick, shipping is impacted by tariffs, especially China. They are not selling much of anything. Tariffs will only impact 16. Boyd, if you have anything impacting more than 10% of the economy and it's unforeseeable, it can cause a recession. It doesn't have to be 16%, it could be 10%. Also, I'm going to tell you another thing that's really bothering me. Everything is bothering me. But what's really bothering me is look at the green here. Look at the sectors that are green: utilities and consumer staples. Money is hesitantly going into defensive sectors. Very, very bad. Let me check one more thing before I let you go. RSP. We're not in a good position right now, folks. We're not in a good position. Yeah, A line right here too. Let's watch this closely. But if RSP breaks 160, we've got an A line to the downside there too. All right. Thank you, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you all. Appreciate all you very much. Thank you for not doing the whole political discussions today. I can't stand them. And I will talk to you later. Let me give you the link to Customer Service Live, Cam and Gustavo show. Now, T-Buzz completely disagrees with me. He thinks that Trump is the GOAT and that everything is going to be back to normal in June or July. I heard him telling my wife that. I do not agree with that. I don't see that, but I hope to God he's right. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Prices are expected tariffs or just the excuse for tariffs to raise prices. Yep, that's all good. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. Bye, everybody. Got to go to work. Got to pay the bills. Bye, guys. Have a great day, everybody. Folks, all jokes aside, please be very, very, very careful today. Be very, very cautious. And again, it's Monday. We may be consolidating, but I don't like where this week is setting up, and I'm going to be looking at key levels. I will be updating you in real time on the public Telegram channel for free till we get out of this mess, because I feel like you guys really do need the help right now. Bye, everybody. Thank you.